May see nationwide riots and Trump declaring that martial law within the next 3 weeks. Let me cook. So, backstory a little bit. I think the timeline here is stepping up a lot. Here's why. Total Hypocrisy did a great video on Trump potentially being terminal health-wise, okay? What does that mean? Well, she basically says he's stepping up and how fast he does stuff, okay? So, this is why I think the timelines have changed. The Big Beautiful Bill was going to start kicking people off of SNAP benefits, 3.1 or 3.2 million people in January of 2026, okay? That's a lot of people to not be able to get food. Now, potentially with Total Hypocrisy's video and things getting more intense, they're kicking right now, because of the government shutdown, in November, 41.7 million Americans, which is 12.3% of the population, they're not getting SNAP benefits on November 1. It's not happening. Now, hear me out. That is, and November 1st is a Saturday, okay? And then that means October 31st, Halloween, you're expecting 41.7 million people are expecting, roughly, the states are a little different, money to hit their accounts. It's not going to be there, okay? And if that happens, when you're hungry, all bets are off. Survival is not a subscription. You shouldn't have to, if you can't afford something, you shouldn't die. And I see no moral issue at all with someone stealing food if they can't afford food. And that's just fucking humanity, right? Imagine what's going to happen, though. Again, I've never been in long-term food insecurity. I've had two experiences in my life where I was backpacking and I ran out of food for more than a day. And in that short time frame, I can tell you from my own personal experience, my perspectives on the world changed. And my morals and what I was willing to do changed when you don't have food, okay? Again, that's not long-term insecurity, and it's just my perspective, okay? So imagine this. If you have work on Monday and you know you have a little bit of food in the pantry, but you can't miss work because you need fucking money, right? This weekend is a great time to go out. If you're seeing people robbing the freaking grocery stores, supermarkets, and Walmarts and all that in this country, that weekend, I'm going to go out and get all my food too. If you see a lot of people running and stealing their shit, I'm going to go steal that shit too. So imagine this, okay? You have Halloween, 2 full days, and then the next week, and it's only going to get worse as the government shutdown goes on because people don't have money to buy food, right? You're going to have governors begging Trump to send in the National Guard. They're going to deploy the National Guard themselves, okay? That's not going to be enough because it's 12.3% of the population, okay? Then Trump's going to be like, okay, Insurrection Act. It's crazy. I need to deploy the Army, the Marines, the Air Force, the Navy, all of that, okay? You're not going to have a lot of pushback from the military on that. We have nationwide riots and the National Guard can't keep up, okay? So that's happening. And then, if it's not quelled and it's not slowed down, because it's only going to get worse with time, Trump goes and declares martial law. Martial law, I can do a whole other video on that, but that's a different can of worms. And the military wouldn't oppose that because you're seeing, and the governors probably wouldn't either, you're seeing nationwide protests, right? You're seeing grocery stores burn across this country. People would be freaking out. And because of that, I can see him declaring martial law. And if that happens, I'll do a video if you're curious. This may be Trump trying to get his agenda done now. And he'd be able to with that. Again, I hope that I'm wrong, y'all. I hope that I'm overreacting. But what do y'all think? Is this